Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Avery. I'm 23 years old and I make videos all about my personal finance journey. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to subscribe and follow along. In today's video, I will be budgeting out my second paycheck in the month of May. I use the budgeting software called YNAB, or it's short for You Need a Budget. And I really like this software. I've been using it since August of last year, so of 2021. And I have been really liking it. And I think it gives me great clarity and control over my finances. So I will leave a link to this in the description below. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the actual budgeting part. So I have some money from all of my jobs. This video to budget. I have money from my full-time job, about $1,200. I have money from the restaurant, about $250, and I have money from the bakery, about $150. So if you add it all together, I have $1,622.64 that I need to budget for this video. And first thing I'm gonna do, I'm trying something different. I feel like I'm always saying that, but this is truly different. I'm gonna go ahead and go into my Roth IRA category, and I'm trying this thing where I skim some money off the top. So you see I have that 2264 left. If I'm gonna go ahead and add that to my Roth IRA, that way I'm kind of just slowly budgeting more money into investing without having to necessarily commit to an additional dollar amount per month. If I'm having like a tighter month, I can just not skim some money off the top. But I think I'm doing okay for now. So I do put $150 into there, but I'm going to put another $22.64. So, ooh, I don't know why it said that. So I have $22.64 in that category. Let's go ahead and move on. I will invest that tomorrow when the market opens. It's currently 7 p.m., so it's not open. I have $1,600 remaining. I always typically like to focus on my rent category. Last paycheck, I did not put money towards rent because I was ahead. As you can see, if I go into my June budget, my rent category is completely covered for June, so I don't have to worry about that. I do need to worry about July though, and I'm going to put $416.50 into here. I need to ask my landlord if this will be how my July rent will work, because technically my lease turns over in the middle of July and I start a new lease cycle. So I'm wondering if there is some rent proration that's going to be happening with that for the final payment on the last lease and then the first payment on the new lease. I'm not sure. I know when I moved in, my first half month was prorated, so I wouldn't be surprised. But either way, I'm going to be fully prepared with my rent category and then the holding category that I had been doing in order to save money for my rent increase. My rent goes up by $25 starting in July. So $416.50 into there. That's half covered, and then with my first June paycheck, I'll have July completely covered. And I'm going to go ahead and go back into May, and I will put money into my future moving fund. I like to put $33.50. So when you add those two together, $416.50 and $33.50, you get $450 towards rent with each paycheck. So I now have $134 in that category. I'm not sure if I'm going to move in the future, but if I do, by the time that rolls around, or by the time I have to start looking, which would be sometime early to mid next year, I will have a good amount of money saved for any sort of moving expenses. I have $11.50 remaining. What I want to do with that is I want to make sure I am hitting my vacation category. I have a section in my budget that I like to call Focus on Now, and it's the discretionary spending that I'm currently focusing on, along with obviously emergency fund is not discretionary spending, but I'm also trying to put money into that. But what I've decided to do And I think it'll work out I think it'll work out with my first paycheck in June at the very least. Is I'm saving for a vacation to go to New York in the end of August, and I am estimating it's going to be about $1,200. So I'm trying to go ahead and just save as much of that as possible. That way I can get that goal out of the way and start focusing on my other financial goals, such as my emergency fund or my student loans. All that to be said, I've been trying to consider my extra money as money that goes towards this goal. So I said I got about 150 from the bakery, so I'm going to go ahead and add $150 into there. And then I said I had 250 from the restaurant. So I'm going to go ahead and put an additional 250 into there. And now, as you can see, I have $100 remaining for my vacation. So super excited about that. Obviously, this is a very motivating goal for me. Work has been a lot lately, and even though this will be a couple months from now, I'm already ready. I'm ready for vacation. So once I get this out of the way, I think I'm going to focus primarily on the emergency fund and try to do the same thing. Don't think my income is going to be as high in June, but you never know. We'll see what happens. So I have $750 remaining. Everything for May, all my May expenses are completely funded. I actually like to try to fund 1 month ahead. If I go into June, I do have some leftover categories I do need to fund though. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And I need to put $5 into laundry. I decided to increase this from $25 a month to $30. It's just always good to have money in the laundry fund if you need to do laundry. And that way I don't have to roll with the punches or anything with that. So $5 more into June laundry. Transportation, I had this funded. As you can see, I have $85 in here, but gas is expensive. And I'm going to be going to Pittsburgh at the end of this month. And the way this is going for me, it's probably going to cost me, and the way gas prices are, it's probably going to cost me at least $100 just to drive there and back to visit a friend. So $100 in gas alone. I do have some money set aside for this in my short trips category. So it's not like the end of the world. But it got me thinking about how, since I'm going into the office more and I'm just driving more in general since it's the summertime, it's probably a good idea to put more money into my transportation fund. So I've decided to increase it to $100 a month, and we'll go from there and see how that works. So let me add $15 more into it. Auto maintenance, I increased this back up to $40 a month. I feel like that's a good amount for me. I have some yearly maintenance happening in August. I think it's August. That's when I did it last year, so I'm going to do it again. And yes, I might as well keep putting additional money into that. Dining out, I need $125. Dining out category for me, let's just say I like to spend more money in the summertime is what I'm learning and discovering. And I don't know if $125 will be enough, but I'm trying to get more intentional with my dining out budget. But sometimes it's hard. Just sometimes you're like, I'm not in the mood. I just want to buy food and just call it a day. I don't want to make anything. Whatever. So 125 in there. And did I cover everything? No. I'm underfunded. Okay, $15 into stuff I forgot to budget for. My Roth IRA. I need to put $76.67 in there additional for my June auto investment. I automatically invest on the first of each month $150 into my Roth IRA. So that's covered, and last thing I'm missing is just fun money. So $25 into there, and I'm just going to go ahead and update my short trips category. I don't need this savings goal. I'm doing a couple short trips. Like I went to Cleveland. I actually only spent $16.70, and I spent money on gas, but I didn't use all of my gas. So I just bought that I just took that money from my transportation category, going to Pittsburgh, and then my birthday. And since I didn't spend as much on Cleveland, I can spend more money on my birthday or at Pittsburgh. My birthday, it's starting to become a 2-day affair. I'm going out of town for a concert, and then I'm probably going to stay with my friend that night. And the next day, we're going to go visit a town I've never been to, an island, so I'm quite excited for that. So it'll probably cost more money. So it's good that I was under budget when I went to Cleveland. Anyways, I have $468.33 remaining. I'm gonna go into July and start funding some expenses for July. I'm underfunded by $469.60. I'm kind of torn on this. Part of me is thinking I should find like $1 in one of my categories and then get this to the point where I'm underfunded by $1,000. Or I can just put like $300 into here and go back into May where I can put money into like my student loans or something. I'm trying to think. Student loans don't go back into repayment until September. I have this dream goal in mind, but honestly, where I'm at now and how I'm like approaching different funding goals, I don't think it's going to be super realistic as my like personal finance journey has evolved. I would say I'm getting more focused on trying to like shore up the defenses, if you will, in the sense that I really want to just make sure before I have like a monthly student loan payment again. Side note, I owe $22,000. So before I have a student loan payment again, I think it'd be better served if I just made sure that like my emergency fund was covered and that any sort of other expenses that I know are coming up, like anything, honestly, like Christmas, vacation, because obviously once my student loans are back into repayment, I will have to put more money towards those. So I'm thinking like my emergency fund in this scenario. All that to be said. Oh, and my monthly expenses. I was like, where am I going with this? I know I have a point. I think I should go ahead and try to get my monthly expenses for part of them covered as much as possible for July. Yes, let's go ahead and do that. So I need to find like $1 first of all, because I want to get to $469.60 and ready to assign. I'm kind of thinking I will just pull it from stuff I forgot to budget for. I'm trying to do this math. Is it this amount? Okay, nailed that. Oh, I took it from June. Hold on. Let me take it from May. So I'm going to move 127 from stuff I forgot to budget for from May's category into my ready to assign again. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to cover $469.60 of my July expenses. I could cover rent. I also could not. So let's go ahead and do laundry, household, electric. Oh, just removed all of that. Okay. Gas, internet, phone, transportation, car insurance, auto maintenance. And what I like about YNAB is I can just highlight all these categories. It'll show me what I'm underfunded by, and I can just click underfunded, and it puts all the money I need that I've set out with my monthly goals into those categories. So I am underfunded by $1,008.23. I'm going to go ahead and just put that in the next category that's on here. This one. No, let's do medical. So all of my money is assigned, and yes. What's coming up for the future? My first paycheck in June is technically deposited on June 3rd, which is my birthday, so I get paid on my birthday. But my bank has been doing like a 2-day early deposit. So typically I'll get it 2 days early. So June 1st is probably when I can expect my next paycheck. It's going to be a milestone because it's the last paycheck that I will receive from the restaurant. I am quitting the restaurant. I don't know if I mentioned that in my last video, but I am quitting. And my last day will be May 28th. And yes, so excited for that. Cannot wait. Honestly, cannot wait. I am just ready to have more free time. It's okay that I won't have more money, but since I won't have that money, that's why you see kind of like different priorities in this video, I would say. I typically don't try to get that far ahead on like the month after expenses, but since I'll have less money to put towards all my goals, I figured that'd be a good idea. Yes, and what else do I have upcoming? I'm just gonna have my full-time job and the bakery every now and then when I work at the bakery. Not guaranteed, but usually it is busier in the summer, so we'll see how much money I get from that. I'll put that towards any financial goals I have. Yes, underfunded by $1,000. I think my next paycheck, I will try to cover everything. Like the entirety of July. I was like, what am I trying to say? I will cover this $1,000 for July, and start putting money towards my financial goals. So yes, all right. I'm just rambling, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video now. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all are having a great month of May. I'm having a pretty good month. I think the weather's been great. So happy with it. I've been riding my bike a lot, and I've been eating a lot of ice cream. So maybe I should do a little less of that. But it's so good. Who cares? Like, honestly, who cares? And yes. Tell me how your month is going. Tell me how budgeting is going. Are you like focusing on like a financial goal right now? I want to know. And why is it a vacation? Are you ready for a vacation like I am? Okay. All right. Bye now.